once again. It's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw!
Good hump day to all you Southern Fried Podcast fans, all you folks out there in Cornbread Nation. How are y'all doing on hump day? Dave, how are you doing on hump day?
Happy to be alive. Glad to be an American. Glad to be a grandfather. Glad to be a podcaster. I'm just glad. Glad I know Michael.
Yes. Hello, Michael.
Waiting for the show to get started. Not this show, although I'm glad it started. I'm ready for the show to start after January 20th. Get this nation turned back around, go in the direction it's supposed to go. Go team.
Yes. Well, we
Hope
got
all are doing well.
Yes. We got all kinds of stuff going on. We got new stuff, new interviews coming up soon.
We sure do.
Big titles come up. We got lots of stuff to talk about tonight. Oh my goodness, did we have stuff to talk about tonight?
Good to see you folks on Instagram coming in. We appreciate you very much. And from all other streams as well, X
Yes.
and YouTube. And it's good to be here with you. Hump Day, we've made it halfway. And some people are winding down. I think we get busier as we get closer to the weekend.
Yes. Yes, we do. We tend to get busy. But that's all right. We like being busy. Okay. Well, we got prayer time coming up. We need to say some prayers tonight. I do think we need to continue on for our sick, our country, our law enforcement, our police, fire department. Our fire department's working a wreck right now, pretty close to here. So, and when you see these things happen around you, and you don't know if the people are all right or not, it's okay to pray. And it's okay to pray for anybody at any time. So, Dave, let's go ahead and do that real quick. It's hump day. Let's finish this week off right. Let's say a quick prayer.
Yeah, we got a couple of folks I want to give a shout out. She's probably not able to listen. Cindy, her daughter had the wreck. She's a sometime listener to the show. She is okay, but the family's bruised up. Hopefully they caught the guy who hit them and took off on foot. So think about them. And she has her brother, Timmy, a good friend of mine. He's in the hospital too. So I think of him tonight. And, they're just battling. And another good friend named Jerry just found out he was struggling too back with sickness, but God's on the scene. Let's pray. Father, we thank the Lord this evening. What a blessing it is to be here. Father, we just ask you to touch all these families, Lord, the ones we know, the ones we don't know. Strengthen them tonight, Lord. Give them a healing hand. Father, we're thankful, Lord, for every blessing that we have each and every day. You're just so good to us. We don't deserve it, but we're thankful for all your multitude of blessings each and every day. And we just ask you to touch our nation, Lord. Pray for a smooth transition of power. Father, to protect our military around the world. And Lord, just to protect all those who are the first responders, those who stand in the gap in between us and danger and crime and all those things. We ask this in Christ's name.
Dear Heavenly Father, we're going to ask a special blessing for Miss Erica Morgan still. We know she's still struggling, has a long road to recovery. We want to pray for her and strength for her and peace for the family members, people who are currently right now going through an accident right here close to the house. Pray for them, Lord. Keep your hand of safety on them, comfort, and keep our firefighters safe, first responders, as they are in action right now. We ask you to keep all of our first responders safe, the emergency room, the ambulance drivers, to the police officers and the firemen. They play such an important role in our lives, and they're unsung heroes a lot of times, and we want to acknowledge them. We also want to pray for our veterans tonight. If there are any out there that are feeling lost, that don't know where to turn, guide them, Lord, in their heart, keep them safe, and remind them there are places they can go. And we ask you for all and thank you for all in our Lord Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
All
And shalom.
I got my hat on for you. Of course, I don't have no resistance on my head, so it just slides right on.
And that was necessary to tell that.
It was necessary for me to explain that to you.
TMI, brother. TMI.
Well, okay, so yes, I did the mocking thing. It's okay. All right, so what do we want to talk about first tonight, Dave? We got tons of stuff.
I'm gonna go controversy.
You're going controversy, okay?
And I'll probably get attacked on it. It's okay.
Okay. I may attack you on it.
And I may make the MAGA crowd mad tonight. It's okay. I've been very pleased with all of the president's elect picks for his cabinet, but I thought today was a mistake, and I'm just thought that was not a good selection for Matt Gaetz and Matt Gaetz, Attorney General. I know he's been a real bulldog on some stuff, and a lot of people like some of the things he's done and some of the stances he's made, and I can respect some of those things, but he comes with some baggage, and this might be, just my opinion, this might be a mistake. I hope not.
I'm gonna kind of sort of agree with you on that. I think there are better picks, but Trump, President Trump, obviously sees something there. He has backed him up on all the way through, but that doesn't necessarily make him a good fit.
Well, it's not even the political stuff. He's got some personal stuff out there that he's overrode it, but it's still there. And I mean, I just hope it don't come back and bite. That's my thing,
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't consulting me. I mean, I'm just saying, just as a person watching from afar, I was a little shocked. I got to be honest. I
was too.
But I'll support it. I mean, I'm not going against it. I'm just saying that I thought this could be a danger for him. It's either going to do good or it's going to do bad. I don't think it'll be in between. That's just one of those picks where it's either a home run or it's a strikeout. I mean,
it's a home run or a no hitter. I mean, that's it. Nutshell.
So, I hope I'm wrong. I mean, I surely do. I want him to succeed. I'm not against the guy. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of things he's done that I have been supportive of, and he has. He's since gotten married, and it seems to be all right. But there's just some things there. But and I don't know if it's good. I don't know. It's one of those things I just don't know.
That's one that time's going to tell out. We'll know.
It will. It will. I
want to throw this one out there. This one excites me. I was glad to see this one on several different levels. Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. Now, This is a healing placement on this cabinet, but it's to help heal the nation. But this is a good pick. She's a military background. She's a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve. She served in Iraq. She used to be a Democrat, and she was considered briefly as a possible running mate. But I mean, she is a good pick. I like this pick. She's smart. Uh, she is head. I mean, just hammer on the head of the nail on a lot of stuff there. And I just think this is a smart uh, placement, and I think that she will do really good there.
Yeah, I like her. I got no. I mean, uh, she's not when officially when we say she used to be a Democrat, we have to quantify that a little bit. That
Yeah,
officially, it's like Allen Iverson, practice, it's practice.
yeah,
She officially is not a Democrat, but she's not totally sitting in the Republican side either. She's sort of right, kind of bounces back and forth on particular issues. I'm not saying it'll be bad, and it may be a healing pick. And
yeah,
I mean, I got no problem with the pick, but I would just say probably there probably going to be a couple things. I mean, she's serving at the discretion of the president. He's going to keep that in check, but there's things there that she would not be. Um, let's just say she's not always been sitting down at the MAGA table to have dinner. We'll just say that.
yeah.
But she
It,
definitely has the ability and is highly thought of and conservative. And so is Matt Getz. I just want to go back. I, I think his selection is because Trump, he's a bulldog in that position. He's got some heavy hitting stuff going on, and Matt Getz won't back down. I have I have no problem with the job performance. It's the personal stuff that I'm talking
right.
about that I
Eh,
think could be. I used to. I don't know if he still does it, but I used to listen to his podcast a lot, and he had a little 30-minute thing, and I really like listening to it. It really kept me up to speed on a lot of stuff that he was working on. But and he did distance himself a little bit from some of the fray of those who were seemingly to go even more radical. He made a stand and he held it as long as he could. And then he made a deal when they were trying to replace Kevin McCarthy. He took down McCarthy. I mean, he's a bulldog. I mean, he's the guy that's willing to stand up in the room if everybody's booing him. He just gets stronger. I get the pick. I do. It's just the baggage.
yeah.
So we'll
Well,
see.
we're going to see on that one. Uh, I like Elise Stefanik. Were
Love
you
the
in it?
pick. Love the pick. I think it's a really good pick. She's further, advancing her career. She's got I think a bright future ahead of her.
Yes.
I
And
do like that one.
what's his name for UN ambassador or ambassador to Israel?
Mike Huckabee.
Yes, I like that. Oh my goodness.
And
And
this has most of them. Marco Rubio. There's been some named today like Getz and Gabbard that was not on here, but he's really throwing it out there really fast right now. It's coming quick and furious. So he's really hammering right now these picks. So we do see that. I mean, there's some bulldogs on this list. I'll tell you
yes,
that.
there is.
There's some bulldogs on there, and he wants to hit the ground running. There's no doubt about it. I mean,
Yes. I think he put two more on there today. Jets and Gabbard. Oh my
he
gosh.
did, and he did meet with Biden. Biden, the official, for the press or for the public and press was, Biden said, he's ensured a smooth transition of power. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Trump said, "Good, that's what we want," and I think they will. I think they will. There could
Yes.
be other forces that might try to disrupt that, but I kind of think, Biden is going to do that. I do.
Well, one thing that concerns me is there already any of the uh, that oh the spending package, that last spending package that they put out. There's some money left over out of it. There's some money left over out of COVID stuff, and they're trying to spend every bit of that before Trump gets into office. And that should have already been done. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
If it
you
was
know how it is.
yeah.
You know how it is.
Oh
There's
yeah.
going to be, I mean, people, whenever there's a transition, whenever there's a change going on, there's always going to be, um, there's going to be some things that happen at the end. There's going to be some pardons. There's going to be a lot of pardons. Now, Biden says he would not pardon his son, but who knows? Trump might. I mean, just for healing, who knows? But there's going to be
Yeah.
a lot of pardons. Every president does it. There's people maneuvering right now. There'll be money is going to be a part of that. Sure, absolutely. And
Mhm.
there'll be some appointments. There'll be some stuff that's done at the end, and then of course at the beginning, you always have it fast and furious as these are announced. But yeah, he'll do some. I mean, he's still the president. I mean, they rolled her out there like she the red carpet like she's running things, but Biden is the president, and so he definitely is going to. There'll be some things they want to do. So yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and Jack Smith is moving to halt the classified documents case.
Yeah,
Finally.
but a halt, but not a dismissal.
Right.
So, like I said, there's
Hmm.
still those out there that can be means it can be picked back up.
But I think that one they're moving to dismiss totally. So, and he's expected to resign as well. So he's going to resign before Trump ever gets into office. So that's pretty much going to kill that anyway. So that's going to be interesting to watch and see.
Mike Huckabee has already come out, and there's a Newsmax article um, by the staff. There's no individual reporter, but he said there is a possibility that Israel could uh, claim some of as sovereign some of the West Bank settlement areas. This will be controversial. So we'll see where that goes. But he said it is of course a possibility that it could happen during this next the presidency of Donald J. Trump. So I did see also that Turkey is breaking ties with Israel. They're a hater of Israel. Um, you know, we'll see if they're going to raise their little ugly head up and do some things. But um, the Middle East goes on. So
Well, they better do it now. Just come January 20, they better not do it. They better be careful what to do between now and then.
yeah, well, we have a large Air Force base in Turkey,
Oh yeah.
and so there is some agreements with Turkey, but he's this leader of Turkey. He's somewhat of a radical. I mean, if you remember, he hated uh, there was a particular branch of Iraqis that he hated, and they were trying to flee ISIS. They're mountain people, and I know I can't think of their. It's not the Kurds, although there probably so was some Kurds, but it's another group. He blocked. He wouldn't let them in. I mean, they hate him, and so this tribal thing it gets in the way of a lot of stuff. But yeah, so we see. We'll just have to see how that goes. But hello, Lewis. Good to see you, brother.
And I got to throw this out too. They're talking about right now how happy and smiling that Biden was during the whole interview today with Donald Trump. He was all smiles and everything. I think that goes to the point that you were making. He hates Kamala.
He does. Hey, we have a question on Instagram from Platinum Wins. Do you guys think network TV will become more like radio? Um, uh, you know, I, I think that the podcasting is, and there's so many people that are at that. And in fact, some people are leaving network TV to go do podcasts,
Yeah,
and it has become the new big thing. I mean, it really is. And so I would say not more like radio, in a sense, it's because podcasting kind of combines the two up because we do some
Yeah.
things. Some podcasts are audio only, and some are both. Like us, we're on streams that are just audio, and we're on streams that offer both. So I think it's a good question, and I would say trending that way. But the podcast is where a lot of this is going to go. The network during this election, network for Fox and Newsmax they skyrocketed, but CNN was a ghost town on their on their ratings, and I'm not sure about MSNBC, but I do think it's having an effect. I think you make a good point. And yes, I do. You're right. Another second, a comment. He said, they say, I think Biden is a secret Trump supporter. And I have said this. Great, great, great thoughts. And I'll top that in. We may be lagging or just ahead of your stream, but you'll hear this in a second. And I think that I think that they wanted him to win simply, if nothing for else, because they hate Kamala.
Yeah.
They can't stand her. I think they were cheering on election night. So those are great comments, Platinum Wins, and appreciate you coming in on the Instagram side and doing that. And so I hope you heard those answers. But those are great, a great question and a great comment. Absolutely.
The day after the election, Dave and I were talking about people who were secretly happy. And he said, the Bidens.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Oh.
Yeah. So good stuff. We appreciate those great comments and questions coming in. Please keep them coming because y'all help direct us really. Tonight is more of a we'll be all over the place. A lot in the chat tonight. We don't have a program. So, but we do appreciate you. And by the way, on Instagram, I just want to say to all of you listening in, we appreciate you very much. Our Instagram side has really exploded, and we can't say thanks enough for that. And really, it's all happened within a short time, and we appreciate all the follows back. And this has happened, even into today. But you guys have been awesome to follow us and everything. And we're almost at 1,000 followers on Instagram. I mean, it's going to happen before this show is over. And we thank you so very much. I mean, we just appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah. Throughout all the streams, we figured up the other night, we're over 11,000 followers on all of our streams. And it's amazing because you figure we've only been doing this since last May.
Yeah, last May.
Last May. We're not even a year in, but you know what? We are not public radio. We are not one of the state TV news stations or anything like that. We come on here. We're real Americans. We're proud of our country. We're proud to be Americans. We talk news. We don't care who you vote for. That's your business. We don't care your politicals. That's your business. We're open about ours. But you know what? You're not going to be put down for your views here. We're going to respect yours, whether you respect ours or not. We're not going to attack people. We're not going to let people attack people. We're here to discuss, and we're here to do it in a Christian manner. And we love to have all y'all in here. Bring on them questions. We love them.
So, yeah, I mean, challenge us. I mean, because we're certainly not right about everything, and I'm always willing to adjust my opinion if you give me sound reasoning, because there's some things there can be information I don't have. I try to keep my ear to the ground on a lot of stuff. I really do, but
yes,
the news changes so very quickly, Rob. I mean, within 1 hour, you could change your opinion 5 times about something because more information comes out, and so appreciate that. We appreciate being. I hope they're great. I hope you love your uncles in West Virginia.
So what you're saying is your uncles, one of them's really old and ugly, and the other one's young and clickbait, right? We know which one I am. Oh, Dave, did you freeze or did I freeze? Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm back.
I think I'm not. I went out too, so that was a StreamYard thing. That wasn't us.
Okay.
Wow. We have another question from Platinum Winds on Instagram. Do you think something crazy might happen between now and January 20th? I say it's a high possibility.
I'd say there
And I
will
hope not.
probably
I'm
be,
praying. But Rob, there's just so many radical people out there that hate
there
this.
are, and I'm thinking there will be at least another assassination attempt before he goes into office. And I hate to
Now,
say
there could
that.
be.
I think that will be the case, and not just him. We've got to look at all these people that he's nominated for the cabinet. Thomas Homan, Trump has tapped as the border czar, who's come out of retirement for the second time, has already received death threats. You know, that's coming in, but they're
Yeah.
not. He's not backing down. He said so. There's a whole lot there. I mean, these people that he's nominating for cabinet are taking a risk as well. So yeah, this is. I hope not. We're praying not. We're praying for our leaders in this country. But yeah, I'm think this could be it. There could be
Hello,
something.
Brother Cook. Love you too, brother. Bless
Yes,
you
brother.
and your mom. Um, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, we're still praying, and we said we got to keep praying.
Yeah.
Um, I understand, Mike. I get it,
Yep.
but it's just my gut. I think that there's danger there.
Yeah, it
He-
does sound familiar. Lawfare. Hey, Lewis, let me throw you a thought out there. Uh, it says you're the black sheep of your family. It's Democrat and Christian and Republican. You know what, dude? Uh, Everybody's sin falls short of the glory of God. You're washed white as snow in His blood, and don't worry about being a black sheep. That sheep can be white as snow.
well, Lewis, what another thing to throw into this is, and sometimes these titles get bounced all over. In the South, a lot of people were the Southern Democrats back in the day, the 70s and in the 80s, 67 in the 80s. The Blue Dog Democrats, they called them. They were
Yes.
very conservative, very, very conservative.
Mhm.
And I can tell you a lot of them switched over to Republican begrudgingly at first because their party left them, and well, they started not being able to get elected too. But if you go back, I'm old enough to remember it. A lot of people were Democrat in Georgia. A lot.
Mhm.
They held a lot of sway, and and I've heard more than one tell me my party left me. That's why they
Yes.
went Republican. My party left me.
And
So
I'm gonna go way back in history here. I remember my granddaddy. Well, my grandmother was talking about it with him going in to vote. And I think Reagan was in office, and then Grandpa walked in. Well, said, "Here comes a good old Democrat." And Grandpa was like, "Nope, I'm a born again Republican."
Michael, I'm not particularly talking about the case. In fact, I'm not even talking about the case at all. But there is some stuff there that he, like I said, I would hope that whatever lifestyle he had is since he's married. I just hope that none of that comes back up. Like I say, you better be clean and green, as they say when you mow the grass, clean and green, because if you're
Yeah.
not, if he's a blade of grass off, they're gonna find it and they're gonna expose it. So they vetted him. I think they feel comfortable with it. I'm just saying it makes me nervous. It makes me nervous.
Yeah.
So I'm not even really talking about the case, although and I saw that. I'm talking. There's some other things there, and honestly, his answers on those were a little unsatisfactory for me. I'm not his judge, but my gut told me he was evasive. That's all I'll say. Again, I'm not downing him, and I'm not down in the pick. I'm saying it makes me nervous. I question it a little bit. So,
Yeah. Well,
well,
I
we'd hope,
think
Michael. We'd hope.
so. Uh, well,
I mean, and again, we, and I like Pete Hegseth, and I thought it was a great pick. But they're really blasting this pick because is his level of military versus a 4-star general. You know, just as you was talking about the A team earlier, and again, um,
mhm.
you can ride with a couple, but you can't load up the whole team with questionable picks. We'll say you're going to have some that are, and he's done that. I think the Gabbard pick, and I think Stefani, he's doing that. I would just say, okay, you put. I'm not going to say names, but there's just a couple more that I would think, okay, let's not go there. Oh man.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But
Something else that popped up today, Gatz, Matt Gatz immediately turned in. He's already resigned from the House of Reps. He did it today. As soon as the call came out, he resigned.
this is also from Instagram, and so that you can see that. And you are correct. You are correct.
Yes.
You're solid. You're coming in solid. You are clean. You are a cleanup hitter tonight, and you're doing great.
Yeah, China is something to watch, but Iran is still something you've got to watch. They're not above pulling some underhanded junk too, and they're already here. So there is that aspect of it too. China, Iran, you know what? You can't trust red either. China or Russia over there, you just can't. Yeah. There's too many radicals out here right now. And to be perfectly honest, with the open border that we've had, how many are already here?
We've had open communists in our nation for a long time, and some of them are in office. They're card-carrying communists. Nobody wanted to talk about it. Then yes, those people that come across the border. There's definitely cells here, different terror cells. They're soldiers. They're waiting on the call to go into action. And listen, let me tell you, you don't always hear about it, but I can tell you for a fact. I'm not going to mention the installation because I got this in a confidence. And this goes back 3 years. I can tell you that in our region, Rob, there were people that were caught and arrested. You didn't hear anything about it. That were taking surveillance on water systems.
Yeah.
And they were trying to say that all they were doing was being a tourist. No, they went into areas that they shouldn't even been trying to. They were trying to access areas that were completely not there for them. They were of Middle Eastern descent. They were single, and they were taking pictures of things that could be critical systems for our water systems. That's a good, well, maybe more than that, but a good 5 years ago. They're out there still. They're doing this. They just send more. So yeah.
Absolutely. And they're here. I mean, you don't go through a wide open border like we've had for the last 4 years and they not be here.
And I got that from a guy who has a very high government clearance. He didn't tell me anything he wasn't supposed to. And this actually, when he was out of he still holds a high clearance for the government, but he was actually working in, well, we'll somewhat say private, company, somewhat private, but he had already left from there. But he told me, he said, I saw the video myself, and there is no doubt they were looking to damage our water systems. And think about it. It doesn't take long. Think how quickly we'd be in trouble if water was disrupted for 6 weeks.
Oh man, it would be
clean water.
Horrible.
In just in an area of the United States, how quickly would that cause damage?
I mean, it would be immediate. It would be immediate.
Yes.
I mean, no, it would be an immediate. There's no way around it. You got to have water, and that's one of the infrastructures we've got to protect. If you don't have potable water, then you're up the creek. I mean, look what's happened over in North Carolina right now. That's still one of the main things they're trying to do is restore water back to some of these people, and that's one of the main things they're having to haul in is water. Still.
Yeah, and the fight in a lot of countries is a lot of people think it's really over oil. It's really over water.
Yeah.
It really is over water around the world.
Mm.
because if you go to the Middle East, they only have 2 months of rainy season. 2 months.
Mhm.
The Israelis are experts at having found a way to capture the dew, even man, to irrigate their crops. They have had to out of necessity. They have desalination plants on the coast. They've had to keep Lebanon from trying to divert the water that comes out of Lebanon into Israel. They've tried to make water agreements with other nations. I mean, the fight for water is a real thing. I mean, it's just burning hot most of the year. There's no rain, man. It just stops raining, and it doesn't rain again for months. Think about that. So all the water levels go really, really low. In fact, the Dead Sea, which in the Bible was called the Salt Sea, um, that sea has went down, and it's in danger. It's actually shrunk a lot, and they've been trying to work with the country of Jordan they've got a plan to pump. I don't even know if they've ever finished it, to pump water out of the Red Sea back into it to sort of fill it up a little bit, because it's getting to where it's in danger of just going away. I mean, just dying. And that is a moneymaker down there. I mean, a moneymaker. People like to go there and lay in the water and float, because of all the salt. It's got healing properties. It's an area rich in minerals. All your Dead Sea products. Think about all the Dead Sea products that are sold around the world. Your creams and everything that people use on their skin. But so they got to do something. But water is the fight.
Yes.
Yes, Michael, you are correct.
But we've got a lot of stuff going on in the world today, and everything's set up for a perfect disaster right now. With the open border wide open, come on in here for the last 4 years. Bring all your fentanyl, bring all your gang members, bring all your foreign nationals. We bring everybody in. Just come on in. Come on in. We don't care. Come on in. So now we don't know who's in this country.
Well, we
We
fixing
really
to find out, and we
fixing
fixing
to find out.
we fixing to kick them out.
Home fixing to. I can't.
The press tried to give him a hard time. Said, well, said, don't you feel ashamed or whatever because you're going to leave kids without parents? He said, oh, they're not going to be. They're not going without parents. He said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, if they've got family here that can take care of them, and work to get them, a citizen here, that's fine. Or they can leave with their family.
Yeah,
and go back where they came from. They're not going to be left alone. We'll just send them out too. I mean, that's where they need to be with mom and dad. I mean,
Yeah.
He wasn't taking no crap.
No.
We're getting these people out here. He said we're going to start with the jails and prisons, and we're going to get these criminals out here. They can lock them up in their jails. We want them out of our jails. We want them out of our country.
Yeah. Well, as I say with the sanctuary cities, the states had sanctuary cities. The governor said they weren't going to help him. He said, I don't care. Stay the hell out of the way.
Yeah, he said they'd come in there and get them anyway.
No, he actually said that word, and it just snuck out. I'm sorry. I was giving a direct quote there.
I didn't hear what you said. You kind of covered your mouth really quick or something. I didn't hear exactly what you said, but it's okay.
He said he didn't care if they helped him or not. Just stay the HE double hockey sticks out of their way.
Okay.
But that's what he said, and he didn't say HE double hockey sticks. He said the real word. But we don't. We try not to. Sometimes they slip out. Yeah. That's
what would Mama say?
Mama, do you really want to know what Mama would say?
Not really.
I'll tell you.
Not really.
Yeah. I
kind of think it was a little saltier.
She wouldn't say you're darn right. She'd say something else, but you get my meaning. I don't know.
My wife had an aunt, bless her heart, she's deceased. She was a tough lady. Later in life, she became a truck driver. She had a voice that would carry like you'd never seen. Back in my younger days, we're going way back, way back, as they would say on Chicago baseball back in the day, way back. I can tell you for a fact that with a band playing in a bar, you could hear her from across the room. That lady but her language was salty, very, very salty. Sweet lady, always treated me wonderfully. I never would have wanted to cross her. I'm going to tell you what. She drove by herself. She didn't have no partner out there on that truck. She got it done. She didn't take no guff from nobody. That was back when you didn't see many female 18-wheeler, drivers. But nowadays, I think there's more women than there is men. I
Probably
mean,
so.
God bless them; they're everywhere, and they don't take no guff either.
Hey, Dave, give me just 1 second, please.
1001, your time is up. Yeah, Michael. I mean, we got to keep an eye on these things. They do. I mean, I'm not saying they don't. I think it's because of all the systems that they have and everything that they can do that and keep it safe. But they're always probing. They're looking for your weak spot. Back in the day, I mean, I'm talking back, 25, 30 years ago, probably 30 years ago. It's a little different now, although in some cases it's not. I always said that the two ways, if somebody wanted to do something damaging to a company, all they had to do was be two things: either a cleaning person at night or join a security firm and play good for a while, get bonded and do right, because you got access to just about everything. And don't think the enemies know that. The enemies know that. You know, I mean, they know what the deal is. I mean, it's changed a little bit, and it's systems like that. I mean, they do such a background check on you. But I'm going to tell you what, there's probably somewhere out there they know they're not really paying attention, and they're not really on their game. And so you got the old security guard. And I am a security officer, but if you get in good and you bide your time, you got access to just about anything as a cleaning person, as a security officer.
Mhm.
And that's where we have to be careful. So there's nothing that's 100% protected. Nothing. There's
So,
always you got to. You're only as strong as your weakest link. Always in anything.
there's Sugar Britches. What do
Sugar
you,
britches.
Michael, were you on here this morning? I don't think you were. I don't think you heard the conversation that me and Dave had this morning. We had a pretty good conversation, and you were involved in it. We were
He
talking about,
was.
yeah, on whose very special guest on the View would be.
Oh yeah, Michael. We were trying to figure out how long you would last if you were on the View. How many would it be? Seconds, minute, 5 minutes? How long would you last? And
I
what would
think
be
we
your closing remarks as they drug you off the stage after you whooped three or four of them? And they had about six people carrying you off. What would be the last thing you yelled at the host of the View as before you went off curtain, behind
and
curtain?
I think I've got it. I think I've got what you would say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. And you're ugly too. I don't know. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think
I,
I'm right.
I I disagreed. I thought his last comments were chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
Oh man,
Come on, Michael. You got to give us some feedback on
he's
this so we
thinking.
know if
He's
we're right
thinking.
or wrong.
He had to go spit real quick. Just the thought of him being on the View. He had to walk out on the front porch and
What do you
take.
mean, see us later? What? You better not rage quit on us. We just joking. We know you wouldn't really go on there. We're just trying to figure out what you'd say if you did. Oh, is that what you're saying? See y'all men later? I think that bit is last talking about that bit is last words.
Woo!
Oh, that's awesome. Yep.
That's the last one.
See y'all men later. So I was kind of halfway right, and you ugly too. Oh, oh, that's awesome. Oh my goodness.
Oh
We
man.
gonna wake up in the middle of the night and laugh about that some more. We're not done with that yet.
By the way, Rob, I went to pick
Yeah,
up one of my granddaughters today. She wanted to come up and play and go to her
yeah,
dad's, I guess. But we were talking about. I've got her. She's going to do a little interview with me. She's usually very camera shy, but we've agreed to the outline of a very quick. It'll be quick. Five things. And but anyway, I asked her if she had saw the video of me and you looking for green eyes, and she said, "No, I didn't see it." So I said, "Here you go. You're gonna get a laugh out of this." And sure enough, she did. She said that was cool.
Yes.
She wasn't halfway through it; she was already laughing.
Well, we got to send it to Greg that we found an arch.
I'll do that, but we need to have to show it on Friday night or something. We're going to have to show that.
But we're gonna have to show it again. That'd be
Well, yeah, well,
cool.
we'll do it. We'll do it in a stream.
Yeah.
By the way, folks, I will have confirmation here soon. I sent it. We're hoping Friday night to have a blacksmithy on,
Yes.
talk about forges and all making things and that honored skill of heating up the metals and
Yes.
forging it into something that's useful. I can't wait. I bet
Yeah.
Michael would make a. I bet he'd make a good blacksmith. He's got that build. You got
Well,
to have a strong forearm and bicep to be a
in
blacksmith.
fantasy land or whatever, dwarves were excellent blacksmiths, and he's kind of short. I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh man, you heard that where
Short,
that came
stocky,
from.
short and stocky. Um,
You take care, Lewis. God bless,
hey, have a good
and
one, Lewis.
make something good for dinner.
Yes. uh, oh, we got to talk about Daniel Penny. Have you heard about what's happened with that yet today?
I didn't hear today's news on that.
Okay. So one of the witnesses that actually helped him restrain the gentleman, I'm using the term gentleman loosely there. Um, he's a 39-year-old father of two. And uh, there was a point in time where someone told him to lighten up, and he said, and Gonzalez testified that he said he's not doing it tight enough. But uh, he gave a different story. Uh, so they kind of busted him in a lie, and he admitted that he didn't tell the whole truth. He was afraid of the law enforcement and that he would possibly get charged as well. So they had a lot of stuff. So they're going to tear him up on cross examination. So it's going to be, but he testified under the agreement that he would not be charged. So this is going to be, I think that in itself is going to be,
This is a crooked court. I'm sorry. Maybe Michael. It'd be nice. I wouldn't be shocked if he's not convicted in that courtroom. That court is, man. That's kangaroo court, man.
well, they say that this judge that's there is pretty much a straight shooter. He doesn't.
But is it a jury or is it a judge going to make the decision? Because if it's a
Um,
jury, the judge don't have a thing to do with that.
no, but the judge will has determination on what's allowed, what's not allowed, what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. They can if it keeps going this way, this whole case may get thrown out because the DA, which is his Bragg's office again, they're trying to make this into a racial thing and everything else. And he's not even accused of being a racist. And the first witness that they pulled up, their star witness, was calling him a murderer and a racist. Neither one of those is what he's being charged with.
Who's going to throw it out, man? Who's going to throw it out? It's a
The-
crooked court, man.
What's,
Even if the judge thought that there might have been some improprieties, he's going to pass that on up to the to when they review it. His appeal, which could take a long time. I mean, that's the way it works, man. Like that. Okay, yeah, there was some things that happened. But you don't want to mess up a guy's life for years. Or hopefully it wouldn't take that long. I hope Trump would do it. Um, yeah,
yeah,
they're just it's just these crooked courts, man. I mean, they just think they can just do whatever, and they've studied it enough to know exactly what they can get away with for a time anyway.
yeah. Well, we're going to hope. We're going to hope. That I'm going to put some faith, and I'm going to try to see this judge as other people see him as being kind of a down the middle judge. And you know, I'm going to hope because
I
we
mean,
need changes. We need to be able to trust our courts, and we can't anymore. Not there anyway.
no, not there. There's some, but I mean that's the problem. You hear about this stuff about packing the court. Well, there's also something called packing the juries.
Yeah.
And when there's only so many you can kick out. And honestly, in some areas, it's hard to find any good ones, any fair ones. They're all going to be one sided. They're all going to think one way, at least the majority.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope for the best. I'm definitely praying for him. I mean, like I said, I think it makes people not want to get involved because they're afraid that they're going to get charged with a crime.
Yeah. There's that aspect too.
Oh, I know. And they kept Bannon in jail longer than he was supposed to be.
Hmm.
They had to call him on it and finally got that overturned. They play some dirty pool, man. Dirty pool.
Well,
And listen, it's this is not nothing new. I mean, if we go all the way back, and we're picking at them, and fair enough, fair enough. But if we're going to be fair, and we should be, we have to say we had the same thing going on here in the South
oh
with a
yeah,
lot of African Americans and going on trial, and they were guilty before they ever even heard the case because of
yeah,
racism, and they knew it. They knew it.
yeah,
People wouldn't get convicted of crimes they did, and people got convicted of crimes they didn't do. And so
yeah,
we were just as sorry in some areas of the South as these courts are now.
yeah.
And in fact, they probably see it as kind of a
Well,
response to that. To be honest,
and that could very well be. You
I
know,
mean, think of all the dirty cases that happened for the Scottsboro boys and different ones. I mean, just horrible, and it still goes on today in some cases.
it does, and that's horrible. And
It's
I'm
not
not for that.
our justice system is not perfect. I do for the most part trust in it, but in some cases it's just totally it's collapsed. It really is. I know there's people working hard and they apply the rule of law correctly. I know some of them, but we've had in our area we've had trials that should have never been brought. The one around here, the Tanya Kraft trial, the Ringo. Why did they waste all their time doing that? Why did they and they treated her lawyer with because he was out of towner. They treated him with total disrespect, intimidation, actually, not just disrespect, intimidation. And so that might not win me some friends for making that statement because some of those people are still in power. But
Absolutely.
it seemed to me and a lot of people that there were some things that went on there that was not right. But
Well,
the jury, at the end of the day, the jury got it right, and they
yeah,
settled some things out of court and moved forward. But that was an ugly, ugly case, man. Ugly.
it was. Hey, Jarita, glad you're in here tonight. Don't think I didn't see you sneak in there. I did. Uh, but on the exact flip side of this thing, you know, uh, Trump was convicted by 34 felony counts. What were the felonies? What were the felonies that he was convicted of? What crime did he commit? They're trying to say some imaginary underlying crime, and the jury found him guilty on all 34 counts. Now, that's not, yes, the judge has a lot to do with it. That judge is crooked, but the jury found that. How does a jury of 12 people, and they can't see that there's no crime?
Because in that area, they probably wanted to be on that jury so they could absolutely convict him.
Absolutely. So, uh,
And they'll probably all write books and try to make money off of all that.
probably.
Remember, remember for 4 years it was and still is. It was get Trump, get him. The prosecutors ran on that. That was their campaign. I
Yeah.
will get Trump. I will bring that man down. That
Yeah.
that happened in New York and that happened in Atlanta. And I think there was one other place. That was their campaign. You elect me, and I will take that man down. And that's what they ran on.
Yeah. Man, that's just, uh, but that's it. That's where we're at now. I mean, but hopefully, some of this stuff is going to change now.
I've never heard of Blood Mountain. I didn't know there was a mountain called that. You're right. You're right. It probably will get some worse. We hope not. We're praying.
Well, generally things have to get a little worse before they get better. We're going to hope that it gets better. That's all we can do. We can hope and pray. And
And
that's,
that's what we're going to do. Absolutely,
we're going to keep praying for our leaders. We're going to keep praying for our country. We're gonna pray that our leaders that haven't can find God, or God find them, and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna have some fun with it though. Oh yeah, they're gonna try to take him down. But right now, where we're at right now is they're kind of stuck because he's almost president, and they pretty much don't try a sitting president. You know, so it's going to be, like we were talking about earlier. Special Counsel Jack Smith moves to halt classified documents case against Trump, and that's off Fox. So he's looking to halt it. Now I don't know if that means get rid of it.
Halt is like a freeze.
Yeah, but he's also expected to retire. They quit his post there before Trump gets into office because they said they'd have him fired in about 2 seconds.
Well, yeah, but the case could still be sitting there even though he's gone.
Who's going to take it up? I mean, that's the.
You don't think these people that think that way? You don't think that they would jump right over that when the time was right to pull it back out again? They're crazy, man. They live for that stuff.
I know that
they believe they're above the law. They believe the law has got protecting them to do whatever they need to do to get him, and they believe the people's behind them. They think they're heroes.
Yeah.
They believe they're doing heroic duty for taking him down.
Yeah. But
so I wish they would just dismiss this freeze thing or this halt. I mean, like halt, who goes there?
Yeah.
Well, I think in most cases, Michael, that is, but there's been a couple of them have said, we ain't changing nothing. We're still going after him.
The halt is the halt of the appeal. So he filed a motion with the 11th Circuit Court of Appeal, which comes months after the canon in July dismissed the case against Trump. And Smith appealed it to the 11th Circuit with a new motion filed Wednesday does not drop his request. So okay. It asked the court to hold the appeal against Trump in abeyance. So, yep. So
there's
come back after 4 years?
There's an old saying: you always got to watch the head of a snake.
Yeah.
A snake is a snake is a snake. Snake might play nice for a while, but as soon as you turn your back to it, snap.
Yeah.
They're snakes, man. It's a den of snakes.
Yeah.
They're all over the country.
Maybe get that swamp drained out a little bit. Get some of them snakes run off. That sure would be nice. All right. We an hour in. Do you want to run a couple commercials and let's fill up our coffee cups?
We definitely need to run a commercial, and when we come back, we'll talk through some of our other ones. But definitely want to do that. And yeah, I need to make some coffee here. Let's. Which one do we want to do? Let's see here.
I'll let you run them. I'm gonna run in there because I gotta leave the room to go get my coffee because I drink real coffee. I don't drink my.
Oh, don't even start that, Mr. Biscuit Man.
No,
Mr. Biscuit Man.
Trying to get me to crumple a biscuit, put gravy on it.
Ken, don't even talking about gravy soaking into a biscuit. Come on, man. Come on. We'll be right back. Hey, here at the Southern Fried Podcast, we've got a new morning show. Well, it's actually the same show, but we added a day. We're now on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting at 6 a.m., And we go till about 7, maybe a little after if we're having a really good show and we just want to keep it going for a few minutes, but it's usually about 6 to 7. We hope you join us. And as our tagline says, nobody really wants to get up, but since you're up, grab a cup of coffee and join us. Hopefully we can get you started on your day talking about a little bit of sports or news, have a little laughter. Everybody needs that in the morning, along with that caffeine. And hey, we're trying to get you awake. You might be trying to get us awake. So join in the chat. Let us know what's going on. Sometimes our best programs are from the chats that people tell us some things that are going on or remind us of some things or correct us on some things. Hey, all the above. We hope you join us on the Southern Fried Podcast morning show, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Have a great day in Dixie, and God bless. The Southern Fried Podcast now has its own store. Go to sfplive.com/store. These links are also found on Facebook and X and some of the other social streams. You will find shirts and hats and mugs and bags and all kinds of items with many different designs. These are just but a few of the more than 250 items that we have with different designs. We hope you'll come and shop, support the podcast. Every dollar that is paid will go towards keeping the podcast growing, and we thank you for your support. sfplive.com/store. Go shop today and get that favorite person in your life their Southern Fried Podcast item, and it'll help us advertise the podcast as you wear these things or take these things out into the public. We thank you for your support. If you have any questions, email us at southernfriedpodcast@yahoo.com. We'll be glad to answer. We're running some specials as well, 20, 25, and even 30% off in some cases. This will eliminate the mailing charges for sure. So go to sfplive.com/store for your Southern Fried Podcast items today. Remember, Christmas is just around the corner. Thank you. Yes, Christmas is just around the corner. Hey, we appreciate our affiliation with W Energy Drinks. Use the promo code Southern Fried. I like that. 10% off. And of course, we put up last night some new merch items that they've got out as well. I'm liking those things too. I think I'm gonna get me one of those shirts. Our logo, our logo there is covering up the hat, but I like it too. But maybe I'll get it for a grandkid or something. But why can't I have it? You know what? I'm okay with it. My grandkids laugh at me all the time. They don't know how to take me sometimes. That's a grandpa's job right there. Also, Mammoth Nation. Love these people and love their products. Love what they stand for. Use the QR code there. Follow and become a member. And you're helping American companies, and you're also helping the Southern Fried Podcast. Don't forget our store, which we ran the ad. And we also have our Venmo and PayPal QR codes as well. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate you being here in the streams with us and all the things you do. It's a real blessing, and we couldn't do it without you. It'd just be me and Rob talking to each other. So we appreciate all that you do to support us. And again, I do want to give Three Ravens Publishing a little plug. I didn't show this one this morning, so that it came from the Trailer Park series. Is cool beans, man. And I'm doing that newest one, which is on the screen now with your Elvis little look there. And I'm having fun with that book. And Monkey Bones, another new one, Space Pew Pew. They've got some other new titles that are coming out. I think 4 new titles are going to be coming out, I think, through Christmas. So these folks are serious about, getting things down on pen to paper or typewriter or what you want to say, or computer to paper, or however they do that. Digital, I guess, nowadays, and send it. But they're really active. They enjoy what they do. They got a passion about it, and I appreciate that. Because he's on the show, go to Backwoods Cryptid. Go to his YouTube channel, give him a follow. Good friend. We appreciate him, and we had a lot of fun with him. He'll be back, and I know Rob would concur. Good people. We had a lot of fun with him. If we could show the after the show stuff, but we can't. Sometimes that's a show in and of itself right there, but it is what it is. But give those folks a follow. But I was telling Rob this morning, I've been inspired. I really want to try. They may reject me all day long. That's fine. But I am over the next few months, I'm going to try to write a story for that series. And Rob was right on it, man. We've got the perfect thing. I just got to put some things, some
Yeah.
thoughts down. But location is not a problem.
The McCrumbler is going to get after Rob. The McCrumbler. Who's the McCrumbler? Oh, what were y'all talking about while I was going to get me some coffee?
I was doing ads, brother.
Okay.
I didn't talk about anything. You get a little
Okay.
paranoid there?
Yeah. Yeah, I know y'all. Oh, and I done called Michael a dwarf, so I know he's fired up.
Oh yeah. Well, better watch out. Dwarfs know how to get you, man. You gotta be careful.
Oh, now you just called him a dwarf. Huh.
Well, because I'm just saying you did, so
Okay. Hey, and we are one seat away from taking over the House, but we're losing House seats left and right for appointments and everything else. Trump needs to be careful with some of that because we don't have a huge lead. But I'm sure he's got a plan. So,
he always does.
uh,
He always
so
does. By the
it's going
way,
to be fun.
I don't think I ever played this,
What do
but
you play?
well, just continue on. Give me just a second and continue on with the discussion. Let's check this real quick.
All right. Well, uh, one thing that is interesting that's going on, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is putting out there, and he's suggesting policy for, policies for the people, that people recommend policies and stuff like that. Uh, President Trump and RFK want your policy proposals, adding that MAGA and MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, transition team belongs to you. Uh, I kind of like that. I like the
Hey, Rob,
MAGA, the Make America Great Again, and the Make America Healthy Again. I like both of these things.
a little bit
I,
of breaking news from Stand Up Bamers Georgia Call to Action. There's an article from WALB
that's an
down there
all.
that the Decatur County DA files intent to fight monkey facility in Georgia Supreme Court. That's
Oh,
awesome. That's awesome.
that is awesome.
There is an article at their website, walb.com. I have not read it. I'm just looking at the headlines that they forwarded out.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, and
Uh,
I have here right in the studio my stop hat, stop the monkey farm. Yes, sir. Matter of fact, I'll put it on in honor of this news. I'm gonna put mine
well,
on. Let's do it. Let's
we
do it.
got
Solidarity, baby.
that's right. Uh, I had to reach out to them tomorrow too. We need to have them back up on here. Them that want to come on, and we need to do it in a live format. So anybody that has any questions and stuff can come in. I can think of several people we need to have on. We've got one of them coming on. We're going to do an interview with on Friday, and we're going to air that out Friday night. It's going to come out so they can spread it and put the word out. Probably come out Friday evening around 5 o'clock for the live show. And Mr. Gordon Rogers, and amazing man, Flint River keeper, and he knows more about these things than we could ever even dream of. And we're going to be talking with him and get him to explain some things and go over some stuff and on all the downside to it. And there's not that much upside to it. What, 250 jobs and what the price they're paying for that? My goodness. And I'm glad they're fighting. No, we're going to back them up any way we can. I still don't
Yeah, this
think they
thing's just
call
got
it the
uglier and
monkeys.
uglier. By the way, well, no, last I heard there was 13 still loose, but it may be less than that now. It may be less than that.
It's a good thing it wasn't gorillas because that would increase the Bigfoot sightings. Could
Give
you
me one second.
imagine?
I'll be right back.
uh, for all y'all out there, could y'all imagine going out in the woods and seeing monkeys here in this country just running around in the trees and swinging from branches and stuff? You might think Michael's looking for a date or something, but it'd be bad. I mean, that would scare the snot out of me. Go out there and see monkeys swinging around in the trees. We don't like it when they do that. So, what about you, Dave? Yeah, I don't like it when monkeys go out there and they swinging around in the trees and you're not expecting them. And oh my goodness.
Hey, I just want to say, Rob, he had a heart surgery. That's over a year ago now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's healthy now and everything. Gets his walking in most of the time. He's doing good, but he lost a lot of weight. But somebody sent me some video of Rob a few years ago. And he was trying to act like a kid, and it didn't go good. You ready to see this?
Okay, let's see.
He wasn't acting his age.
No telling what this video is going to be.
This was Rob a few years ago.
That's not very nice, Dave. And no, that wasn't really me. But that's not very nice.
I somebody sends you stuff. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't say whether it was or not. It's what I was told,
Did Michael send you that?
No.
Oh,
no, he didn't.
Maybe it could. Or you may have just went out there and found that. I'm going to have to get out there and find some video of you. I know there's some out there. I'm going to have to get out there and find it. Because this is not the first time you put video of me up on the screen. So, I think it's only fair if I go out and find some video of you.
I did think it was funny that, and people have said that I kind of resemble him with a hat on and everything when I have my red jacket. But on Reddit, we actually have 2 new Reddit channels. We have one at the Southern Fried Podcast, but we also have a Reddit that's the Veteran Suicide. Sorry, Veteran Suicide 22. But I posted those videos there of us out when we were together, and somebody said that I was Andy Reid of the Kansas City Chiefs coach. They said it's Andy Reid.
Did you highlight that one?
Do what?
Did you bring that one up screen, or did the warden?
Oh, I brought that video up.
Okay, no, I'm talking about make it go viral.
Oh, I don't know who. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. That wasn't me.
All I'm gonna say to that, get that off there. We don't want to make that go viral. That's not very nice. I'm gonna have to give out some nice lessons. That's all there is to it. Oh my God! Hey, we got more news to talk about too. It said Chinese hackers tried to breach multiple U.S. telecom providers in a targeted attack. That was from the FBI, CISA, reported on by Fox. Said they swiped cell phone customers' call record data, including a limited number of government and political officials. They're constantly trying to get in here. They're every little loophole they can find, these hackers are trying to get in there.
Oh yeah.
So, but Michael, I know you've probably been called worse.
I think you brought back a memory talking about hacking.
Yeah.
Long time ago. I think it's before I even had a computer. I went and saw Robert. And Robert was showing me around on the internet on his computer. And I forget what Robert was in. I don't remember. But he was kind of mouthing with somebody in this on this site. And I think I don't know if you said something to them or you sent them like a little thing that made it like their screen explode or something, or it's kind of joking around. And I remember that they sent you something and it hit your computer so hard it shut the thing down. You had to reboot everything. You remember that? I thought, what in the heck is going
I was
on?
like, it just turned my computer off. Is what it did. I had to restart it. They sent me something just to turn it off.
Oh
But,
yeah,
that was back in the days of AOL and all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Boy, I just dated us, didn't I? Oh my gosh. Hmm.
yeah, no doubt.
It, I remember when we played Ultima Online, me and you and Jason, all them, and we played on the AOL Legends server,
That's true.
America Online Legends. And eventually it just became Legends, but oh my gosh, AOL Legends. That's back in the day. That was last century.
That was the first online game I ever played. Was that?
Well, and you know what? Some of us still play it to this day. Uh, I need to get Joel on that, and we need to pop us some video of that and record some of our playing on there and put it on there so people can remember what these old school games are and were. And yeah, maybe we can renew some interest in it. That would be awesome. Our kids today would play it. The graphics aren't all there. So,
We are to have one Friday night. We don't have a guest. We need to have the Ultima Online discussion. There's a lot of people played that game.
oh my goodness. You and I sat around the fish store laughing at each other for hours over that game. Um, but all right, so I think we've covered all the actual real news. Let me refresh right here, see if there's anything else on here that we need to go over tonight. I don't think there is. I think we've covered it all. We've covered the cabinets. We've covered debts. We've covered. Uh, uh, I think we've got everything covered that we need to cover tonight. So, so now we can go on to some fun news and some stuff that's a little bit more off the wall. Um, I want to talk about uh, the legend of Green Eyes for just a brief moment, being that we had such a close encounter uh, last weekend. And when I say close, it was just time to go. Um, you know, I, Dave, you've been out there at the battlefield a lot more than I do, and probably know more about. But what is the legend of Green Eyes?
Well, I mean, I've never studied into it deeply, but there's if you go way back, the original thought about Green Eyes was that these two young lovers were killed by this guy. And that's where that legend kind of got started. At least one of them. There's a couple of stories, but that he was and because of that their ghost or whatever
Okay.
haunted the woods. Um, or at least killed him, and he was looking for his young lover, whatever, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but then you have others that say it's that it's that it's a Bigfoot kind of thing or a cryptid of some kind or something. But that's the two main things that I've heard.
Okay.
I always thought it was something invented by the Rangers to scare people and keep them from coming out there. I think I told you the story one time though, but I will tell you though that there's a guy one night he thought he saw Green Eyes out there, and I
Yeah.
got this straight from a ranger
Yeah.
that he caught these two people making out at Wilder Tower, and he went back to the museum and got an original Civil War uniform on, a lantern and some chain, and they hadn't cut the field out there, so it was real high grass. So he sneaks up out there, and the guy just happens to get out of the car in his underwear to relieve himself, as we'll say. And he started making noise and shaking that chain, and that guy hollered, "Hey, who's out there?" And he come up out of that, and it was foggy that night. He come up out of that grass and that fog, swinging that light and shaking that chain. He said that guy dove back in his car like something that looked like, Luke Duke or something, diving back into General Lee. And he fired that thing up and throwed her in low and took off, squealing tires and everything. And he said when they hit them railroad tracks, they went out the backside over there, but behind the tower. And when they hit that, he went airborne just like the General Lee did. And he said when they landed, sparks went everywhere. But he said, I just had this thought, this guy's going to get pulled over. He's in his underwear, flying, speeding down the road. And the girl is probably petrified. She'll probably never go out with that guy again. He thought he saw green eyes.
Oh my goodness. Now see, I can see us doing something like that. I can see it. I can see it. Is Cook still in here or did Cook leave?
I don't know. He's
I bet Cook left.
Well,
we still got to get a match.
He's got the girlfriend now,
Oh my goodness. Is he going to be able to come down here when y'all come?
He says he's coming.
Okay.
By the way, I don't know if Daniel's still in here or not, but I am going to be heading south, and I'll be headed right through the grand metropolis of Chatsworth, Georgia, and I could meet up with the hardest working man in Chatsworth, and maybe show him how to get online, either going down or coming back. If that would be agreeable to Mr. Britches, and I said Britches.
Yeah.
I would be more than happy to help him, Rob. If
I will
arrange something.
I will call him tomorrow and make sure it's okay. And if it is, I will get you his phone number so y'all can communicate back and forth and maybe get that worked out. That would be awesome to get him on.
I will definitely get him on some video, and I'll try to help him get online, and we'll see if we can't work that out.
That would be awesome. He would appreciate that. I probably should have done that while I was on my way back. I didn't even think about it. Because we got such a late start getting back down this way. So we were trying to get on home.
Well, Michael, they might have been an old house on the backside of the park that was haunted. I don't know. But it might have been Lefty Louie and the moonshine or something. I mean, I don't know. Have you ever, now this just begs the question.
Okay.
And I think you said this the other day because you talked about this a little bit. So there's a little bit here, but have you ever heard a sound so haunting in the wild that there were two thoughts that came in your mind? Number one is, what the heck is that? And two is, you were thankful that it was a long ways away. You could tell by the sound of it that it was nowhere near you. Have you ever had that happen? I had it happen, but it was across the river. I heard and I kind of think it was probably a panther or a bobcat of some kind. And that thing let out a shriek, and it echoed across that river, that Tennessee River. And I'm going to tell you what, I might have been like that old boy loading up and jumping in the car, getting out of there. I realized it was on the other side, though, and there's a river between us. I'm going to tell you what, every hair on my head stood up, man. I had never heard nothing like that.
Well, I have, not too long ago, heard something out there that I couldn't identify. If I hear something I can't identify, I look for it. And I saw something that was dark, so it was black, but it wasn't a bobcat because it was black in color. And it could have been a big skunk. It could have been a small wild boar. It could have been a black bear. I don't know. But it was making snuffling sounds, and it made the hair stand up on the back of my neck because I didn't recognize it.
What the heck is a snuffling sound? No, man. I never heard that before, a snuffling.
Well, now you have.
Snuffling.
Snuffling sound.
You see, officer, this is how it happened. I heard this snuffling sound. Excuse me, sir. What did you just say? Snuffling? How do I put that in this report?
People down here speak English, and they know what snuffling is.
I can see that. I can see that going in the press. Robert Blevins said that he heard a snuffling sound.
That's right. And everybody down here will get it. Now up there, they may not. They don't speak English up there.
Snuffling
English.
sound. Where do you get this stuff at?
What?
Snuffling sound.
Hmm. Hmm. It's a manly term.
Manly. Snuffling.
Yeah.
How can snuffling ever be manly?
Well, it does. If it happens in the middle of the night, you're not used to it. Something sniffing around out there, snuffling. You don't know if it's trying to track you down or what. Hmm. Hmm.
Snuffling.
You're still laughing at me about the snuffling word. You can just stop now. It's English. Hmm. You don't know what it sounds like. Look,
I've
that's
never
it.
heard that in my life, dude.
You've never heard
Snuffling.
snuff. Hmm. Hmm. Now,
Oh
now,
man, you
oh,
just
Mr.
killed me,
Howard
man.
from Rossford, Illinois. No wonder.
Oh man, I love it. I love it.
Now, one thing that we do have down here, and I've heard him several times, uh, we have the most redneck sounding owl you have ever heard in your life. And I think it might be a Bigfoot. I don't know. Because this thing sounds totally like a redneck. You know, out there going, you know, "Woo, woo," you know, this thing got her, ah. It sounds like he's dying.
How do you know it's a he? I'm just curious. Inquiring minds got
They're
to
all
know.
he. They're all
They're all
he's until they're all he's until they lay an egg. Do you remember that lizard that we got in down when we moved locations on the fish store? We got
no.
this little. It looked like it was bald, like bald headed, had a ridge around the top of his head, and he looked bald on top, and he was fat. And they called it Robert till it laid eggs, and they started calling it Roberta.
No,
It's the
I never
same,
came
same
in there,
principle.
but maybe once or twice. It was a different vibe for me. I really enjoyed the old store. It just changed. I don't know.
Well, it that they called it Robert because it was short, fat, and bald, and then it laid eggs, and they changed its name to Roberta. It's the same thing with owls. They're all he's until they lay eggs. Just say, at least in my opinion. But that's the most redneck sounding critter in the world. I mean, literally, Dave, it sounds almost like it's going, yeehaw. I mean, eventually, someday, I'm going to get that thing recorded. Uh, so, uh, here's a cool story coming out of Colorado, University of Colorado football program. Uh, uh,
Okay, Rob, I'm going to go back to our story real quick. The chat on the monkey farm.
okay.
There's a guy that has come in there and posted, and I just want to throw this out there because we've got a guest coming on. I mean, we're uh,
Now, this
th-
posted on the end of
their
paper.
Facebook chat.
Okay.
Facebook chat. Scott and Patrick says the monkey is not going to be a problem. He said, see, people have the wrong ideas about monkey farm pollution. These places have to have a holding pond or tank farm for the wastewater. Then they have to get the pH right before the water is transferred to the water treatment plant. I pull tankers so I know what's going on. No, that's Patrick that's responding to them that this ain't gonna be a problem. We got this. I thought you might want to hear that.
Okay.
That's
Well,
in the they have two channels. That's in the NMB No Monkey
that's
chat
the what?
discussion. It's NMB. That's what it's called. NMB
NMB.
chat. NMB chat and discuss. I don't know if you've ever joined that one or not,
I got a
but they're underneath. It's underneath the community of No Monkey Business. But this is another streamer channel.
NMB chat
Chat
and
and
discuss.
discuss. Yes, and if you'll scroll to the bottom there, and people are going to respond to that, he's going to get. Somebody agreed with him, but I would think he's not going to. He's got some people that's not going to be happy about that. that quote. And I understand what he's saying about pulling that, but
I'm not seeing that one.
I don't know if I can add you or not. I don't know if I have that ability
Now you
in this.
said November,
I'm,
Mike,
I'm going to give
Rob.
you. I'm going to send you an invite. Uh, hey Rob, you're fixing to get an invite to this. This
Okay.
one. It should be coming your way now.
Now let me get to my home in South
I just thought it was
Georgia.
interesting.
And you sent it to me on Messenger?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what that is. For those that may be in the stream that don't know, we're talking about the proposed monkey farm in Bainbridge, Georgia, which is a breeding place for monkeys to be stored until they sell them to labs for medical testing. There's a
Yeah.
big fight to stop that down there.
When it gets to full capacity, it can house up to 30,000 monkeys. That's a lot of monkeys.
A lot of monkeys.
Uh, we'll
So
get
there's
that
different.
figured out later on. But no, there's more to it than that. Even if they put it in a holding pond or whatever and get the pH right and then send it to the waste station, it's going to max out the waste station. 450,000 gallons of waste per day is what they're estimating. Okay, that
So,
is a lot.
so Patrick goes on to say, I don't have any problems. Bainbridge needs work around here.
Okay, well, that shows how much Patrick has really looked into this because there's a lot of, I mean, you're talking about 250 jobs, okay? And Bainbridge needs work, okay? What the heck? I mean, is Patrick going to go down there and get this job cleaning up the monkey cages?
I mean, he
Monkeys
drives a
carrying
truck. I mean,
hepatitis B.
I guess he's wanting work to deliver, to pull out of there because he drives a truck.
Oh, well,
I mean, he's got his picture is of a truck. I mean, that would do this. So anyway, he's continuing to top right now. So or however you want to say that these days.
well,
He is topping in his next response. I just thought it was interesting. I thought you might want to see that.
that's a group,
I did
right?
send you that. May have to go through filters before it gets to you. Huh?
That's a group, right? November, Mike,
It is.
Bravo, chat and discuss.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
Well, I haven't found that yet. Uh,
He says, I run every occasion event center. Come over, let's party. I don't know what that is. Is that some sort of thing down there?
I have no idea.
Every occasion event center. Must be a small business owner there or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And a truck driver. Just assuming. I don't know.
Well, let me see. Is he on the? Is he also on the stand up Bainbridge?
He's on there, but if I'll just say, when you pull up his page,
Yeah,
it all makes sense. That's all I'll say.
really.
When you finally get to it, I'm not gonna make a comment, but some things don't have to be said. Some things
Okay.
don't have to be said. But when you see that, it'll all make perfect sense.
Oh wow.
Did you see it,
Well, no, not yet. What's his name again?
Patrick?
Patrick.
Patrick Neal.
Okay. Let me see if I can just
He
search
is a
him.
member of the No Monkey Breeding Bainbridge, Georgia since November 13th, 2024. So he joined today.
Neil, Neal,
Yes, sir.
or Neil.
Neal.
Junior?
No junior.
Okay.
I didn't see no junior on it.
You're going to have to tell me what his photo looks like.
I'm not doing it over the air, but I'll message you that.
Okay. Because I'm
I
curious
just
now.
I just choose not to go there. I think I'll send you a picture.
Okay. Is he
I'll
in
text it to
Bainbridge?
you. I'm assuming he is. 'Cause he
Okay.
said around here, so I think he probably
Well,
pictures
this is
pictures on its way.
okay. I'll keep an eye out for it.
It'll make sense.
Okay.
Anyway, I mean, it's America. He has a right to his opinion, but it's amazing he joined there and came in to. And again, it's a place to discuss, yes. And I get he's trying to tell. I mean, he's involved with that. He understands about polling about pH levels. I mean, I get all that because I've worked with people coming to pick up different kinds of waste at our facility, and I mean, yeah, we always want that. But the problem is that these companies have been caught doing wrong things. Now, I
Yeah.
don't know about this particular company, but these other ones, some of them so bad they had to just abandon even putting a business in some states because they got in so much trouble. So,
Um,
I don't think it's fair to him to go completely the other way and act like, oh, they ain't no problem. Let's get jobs. I think that's the mentality of a lot of it. Well, let's just get jobs, whatever. That's the problem. Yeah, you're right, Michael. You are right, sir.
oh, there you go. And it's more than just that. I bet that's okay.
You see my
Well,
picture yet?
that explains a lot.
Yeah, it explains a lot.
Uh,
Some things just don't have to be said.
no, you are correct. Well, uh, I'm going to bookmark this page and I'll come back to it later. How about that?
All right.
All right. Okay. So,
I mean, about everybody I've seen in that page is, they're against it. I mean, but this is the first one I've seen that's come in kind of positive. You know, so
well,
somebody has came in there sort of along with what Michael was saying and said the problem is the torture and killing of innocent animals and the destruction of our land and waterways because of the waste coming from this facility. These torturers need to be jailed along with our elected officials in Bainbridge. Rose ain't playing.
no, no,
I was
nobody.
waiting on that. I figured that kind of response was coming pretty quick, and it
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Uh, so, uh, if there are Safer Human Medicine, which is the company that's putting this farm in, has been sending out flyers and all this kind of stuff. And
Yeah, and they're
they're
having
setting up
burning.
garbage cans to collect these things so they can burn them. I love it. I love it. Um, so, yeah, I'm going to get, we need to get out there when you come down. We're going to be having some fun with this. I'm going to ask them
Oh
to
yeah.
save as much as they can so we can burn some too. Uh,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
you know, this will be interesting.
He's posted a selfie of himself. Oh man.
That is just mm.
Did you see that one?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen where he was at there. Um, let
Um,
me let me
I,
hit this real
he
quick.
may
I'm gonna.
he may be a fine fella. He just sees it one way, we see it another.
I would like to hit this one real quick. Because I think this is a good one for Colorado football. Okay.
Uh,
Uh, I have a lady that's been attending as much as she can. What was her name? She's been a lifelong Colorado fan. Peggy Coppom, Coppom, and Deion Sanders is looking for. She's going to be 100 years old next week. And Deion Sanders is looking for the ultimate way to show his gratitude for her being a fan and all this kind of stuff. And, they asked him what it meant to him to have, for her support, and he said everything. This is Deion. Deion Sanders is, not, but this is just such a good story. She said, she's in her own tremendous and loving way, and she gives all of us hope. She gives us all unspeakable joy, that love, that respect. You know how many decades that we're apart, but we still found one another, and I thank God for that. Um, just him doing that, and recognizing her. And he's got pictures of her holding her hand, walking her to her seat, stuff like that. That's big, dude. I love it when these stars and coaches and players, and they reach out to young kids and older people and just really make them feel special. Man, I like it. I think that's awesome, and I want to recognize it because I can't really recognize him for his performance, for this team's performance on the field, but he's still not having a bad year this year. Are they 7-2?
I honestly haven't kept up with their record. I try to keep up with the scores, but I don't know their record.
Okay, but hey, hats off to him. That's awesome. Uh, you know, I gotta find that now because you've made a deal out of it, and I've got to find it. He's making posts, and I'm being left out. What the? I can't have that. Is he? Okay. So I need to look see who he's following. I guess I don't want to stalk this guy, but I find that funny. Nah. I don't know why I can't find the page.
They're saying that Matt Gaetz will face some GOP opposition.
Yeah. Yes. And that's
Of all his picks, that's the one that's going to get the most scrutinized, without a doubt. I'm not saying
yes.
it's fair. I'm just saying that's why I said what I said.
Mm-hmm. You are that is going to be probably
Fox is reporting that it sent shockwaves across Capitol Hill. They didn't see that one coming. Well, honestly, I didn't see that coming either.
I didn't either.
It's going to be a wild ride. But get your seat early on the Trump train because it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Thank you to the Instagram followers, people that continue to be followers and have sent the podcast over 1,000 follows for tonight. We appreciate that.
Yes.
Y'all are a real blessing. And that's just the first step, but an important step that we have gotten to. We thank you.
Well, no, they don't like the idea of Matt being the head prosecutor. And yeah, some of the stuff I don't feel like he answered all the way, but they sure did go after him like they did somebody else. And now he's going to be the one that's going to be the head prosecutor. Maybe comes around, goes around.
Honestly, I got to put a lot of thought in this. There's a lot about this pick that I just don't think it's. I just think in Trump's world, it's not a singular thing. There's other things at play here, and I don't know that I fully grasp right now all of those, but I can think of a couple of them. But like I said, I'm going to reserve right now. I don't want to get too far out ahead of myself. But this pick is intriguing to me. I just the way I feel. I just think it's more than one thing at play here. I really do.
Yeah, who knows? He may be doing this to get something else. You never know.
Well, I'm sure. Well, and that's what I think. That's what I don't like about it. I don't want our party to become that.
Oh, I don't either.
If people break the law going forward, then they break the law and let the rule of law decide. Let's
Yeah,
not play the same games. There are people on the Republican side that are saying it and saying it out loud. We get that, this idea of going after people and everything. I don't want, I don't care which side it is. I don't want to see the jackboot people coming busting down doors and coming and dragging people out in their underwear in the dead of the night, wives
no,
and husbands and kids, and with their faces covered, and instead of CNN, another three-letter networks in tow. I don't want to see that the other way. I don't. I'll say it, and I
no.
know that there are people that are not going to agree with me on that, but I just don't think that's the right tactic, and I think it just sends our country and down the same. It's just a different letter, but the same path. And well, yeah, they probably have. Some of them have, Michael. But if you're gonna go get everybody that's broken the law, you don't have a whole lot of people on all sides going to jail. I'll just say that.
But
Again,
there again, I don't
I'll,
agree with.
I'll reserve. I'm not saying it's going to become that, but
I'm
when
sorry.
he said, and this was controversial, when he said, "I am your retribution," I there were people that took that to heart. We'll say that. And anyway, I'm not going to get too far out ahead here. I'm just saying it intrigues me. It intrigues me.
Well, I don't agree with lawfare either. And they can sit up there and say the Department of Justice hasn't been. Uh,
I'll just say this: if Matt Getz goes after people solely because of things he doesn't like, then he's not doing anything different than what they did. And I would be against that. I absolutely would not be for that because we've got to heal this country. We've got to take care of criminals. Yes, don't hear me. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that how you do that goes a long way. The country is going to follow and go a long way in following that.
okay.
And if we don't get out of this whole idea,
If he goes after people just based on what he thinks and what he feels, then I agree with you. He's no better than the ones that have used the DOJ as a warfare weapon against a political opponent, and that's wrong. But the way you correct it is when they start doing this, you hold them accountable. The DOJ, the ones that are doing it, need to be held accountable, and so they can't get away with it. There's got to be a place there, or we descend into becoming a third world country, third world
well,
politics.
it becomes a game of whoever's in power attacks the other, and we've got to get away from that. We've got to get
Yeah,
away from that.
yeah,
Good common sense people have to take the center of the road here and keep this thing in between the ditches. That's all
yeah.
I'm saying.
Blind
I'm not
justice.
saying it's going to become that. I'm saying that my gut tells me that this pick is trouble. It's just my gut, man.
And it
I'm
may be,
not telling anybody else how to think. This pick bothers me, and I can't shake it.
yeah.
It bothers me.
We'll see where it goes. Yeah, I mean,
I'll
no,
reserve judgment. I'll reserve judgment, but I will be watching.
yeah, I will be too. Uh, it's
I just don't like the pick, and I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I do.
I do too. And it's not a pick that I necessarily agree with or would have wished he would have made. Uh, but the weaponization of the Department of Justice has got to stop. It's
Sure.
got,
I'm
and
down with all of that. Absolutely. But
so
you got to, you can't let this thing run amok. I mean, it's got to be right. Got to be right.
yeah, they got to do it the right way, and, and that's the thing. It's got to be done the right way. And the only way to do it is to go after the DOJ when they do this. And I'll tell you something else. These three-letter networks that are out there that just throw out and just say stuff like on well, we'll say The View. I mean, because they'll throw out their opinions and it'd be an outright lie, but it's their opinion and they can do it. But there's no holding accountable for that thing. They can say whatever they want to say. These three-letter networks will do the same thing with opinions. These broadcasters will get on the air and throw something out that's completely false or completely taken out of context and hand it to you as the gospel truth. There needs to be accountability for that too. And I'm sorry.
Let me put it in this kind of context because I really want to be clear here because I know me and Michael we're on different sides of this. I mean, I get it, and that's fine, Michael. Let me just put it in context like this. Let's say you and your neighbor you don't get along, and your neighbor comes over and he takes a gun and he shoots your dog down in cold blood. Do you go over with your gun and shoot his dog down in cold blood, or do you call the law and let the law handle it?
No,
there is a
go and try to get his dog adopted.
yeah. That's what I mean. There's a difference here. It's not a tit for tat here. You can't rule like that. We have
No,
we have
I'm not,
we
I'm
have
not.
we have the rule of law, and we have to let. Even though some people use it the wrong way, I don't give us the right to do that. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying we can't become them. We
Right.
can't.
I agree with you. You can't become them. I 100% agree with you. What I'm saying is the people within the Department of Justice that are allowing themselves to be used as a tool to weaponize against a political opponent because they don't like what they stand for or whatever. And these are elected people now. Trump was elected. People voted him into office and then they weaponized and they attacked him for how many years? Over and over and over again over bullcrap. These people that are letting people use them for this have no business in the Department of Justice. They need to be removed. And I think that's the only way that you handle it. I'm not saying that we need to go out there and do the same thing back to them. I mean, this is something, you lead by example, you know?
It's called being a statesman, and
Yeah,
I think he's much more wanting to do that this time around. At least that's my feeling,
yeah.
but I don't know.
We'll see.
Like I said, I'm not prejudging. I'm just saying my gut. I'm just listening to my gut. That one kind of got me a little bit, but if he does right, I'll salute him all the way.
Absolutely.
I'm not
We'll
against Matt Getz. I'm just saying that this pick is so controversial. I know I got friends that cannot stand that guy,
see.
and they are Republican.
Yeah.
They
Well,
can't
the
stand
only
him.
real thing that I have against Matt Gaetz is his hairdo.
I've started to bring that up. It's what is it they call him? What is it the
Oh,
Pet Boys thing?
yeah.
Pet
Uh,
Boys, yeah.
yeah. Oh my God. That is the only thing I have against him is his hairdo.
It reminds me of remember there's two guys out there. One of them was the former leader of Britain, Boris Johnson. He had the
Yes.
worst hairdo in the world. The other guy is the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, Mark Davis. That guy's a billionaire. He's got the bowl haircut from way back. That is the ugliest haircut I've ever seen on a man. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that?
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen it.
My gosh, that is some kind of bad haircut.
All right. That is an interesting thought there. But let's go ahead and throw out Trump's haircut is not the best either. Okay.
No, no, it's not.
All right, let's go ahead and air this out. Okay. President Trump, we love you. Do something about that damn hair. Come on. You got the money. You can afford it. Fix it.
He didn't rock the right hair was bad. I mean, yeah, you know.
I mean, I ain't got a whole lot of room to talk, but if I had hair, it would not look as good as Donald Trump's. I always say that because it just grows a little bit around the edges. I look like bozo if I let it grow out. But I got some pride. I shaved it off. Okay, Mr. Trump, if your hair don't look no better than that, take it off.
You know,
I'll show you how to do it. We'll
some
teach you how
people
to
are
do that.
blessed with beautiful hair until the day they die. I was talking to a friend of mine today. I've worked with him for nearly 34 years, and we're about the same age. And he's just graying up, but he don't look like he's lost any hair. He's got this beautiful hair for a man, beautiful. And some people have that, man. It's almost like the Tom Selleck, just with a gray in it hair. And then you got me, where it's receding hairline, and graying as well. You're like, come on, man.
I understand.
Like, come
But
on, why couldn't I be like that? Come on.
okay. Now,
Michael's got Michael's got some nice hair. I mean, he's rocking some nice hair, man. I'm telling you,
all right,
them profile pics show it.
I'm going to say this. I kind of agree with his statement here. Uh, I don't want them to go after everyone, but I want them to pay for political prosecution and election interference, fines and expulsion, and strict government clearance. I can almost get behind that if you could prove they done it. That's the thing. You've got to prove it.
Now,
You
give me
got to
just a
prove
second.
if they have actually broken the law, go after them. If they've broken the law, if they haven't broken the law, you got to wait for them to do it. And when they break the law, then you take the book and you slam them with it. But you you can't go out there just digging and looking for anything. I mean, it, I think it needs to be something very blatant and obvious, and go after them. They'll do it. It's just a matter of time. They'll do it, Michael. And when they do it, then they can get a surprise. And that's what, because when you prosecute your opponents, that's third world. That's not America. Yes, and everybody says, "Oh, well, there's a lot of blood and guts in American politics now," and all that. I understand that, but goodness, my goodness, come on. He might very well be. He might very well be. Uh, Mayorkas has no business. Well, we've only got to deal with him for just a couple more months, but he totally, totally lied to Congress. He did not secure the border and said it was secured. That he's been behind just whatever Biden wanted with the border, or whoever was running the country wanted with the border. He opened it wide up for everybody to do anything to stop it. We've only got to deal with him for a couple more months, and hopefully, everybody that they let in illegally, they'll get them out. So, but yeah, if you, Dave, what do you think about that?
What?
If you get through on this comment that Michael had, um, Faith wants the ones that did political prosecution and election interference, they go after them. If it can be proven, I have no problem with that. If you can prove they broke the law, go after them. But it proves, 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 you know.
In some cases, I would be for this. In some cases, I say we just need to move on, and you know, because you don't want to get bogged down into some stuff that's going to last. Because
Oh,
the problem you have here, is, well, there's a lot of forces at work, and even if you have and I know some of it's the legal arm, I get that, but if you have anything that's divisive right now, you don't have a majority, because the center, the extremes are going to vote. You won't get all the votes. I mean, it's razor thin. It's razor thin. So you're going to have to work. And if you go on a vendetta, or whatever you want to call it, to get people, depending on who it is and how it goes about, you'll even have Republicans will pull away, and they won't. They'll stop voting in anything. I mean, a lot of rhinos, man, a lot of rhinos. So I just think you have to be careful how you do this. It's not open season on to do whatever you want. There's still a lot of checks and balances, and people are going to get itchy feet back on their home front because they want to get reelected too. And so it goes on down the line. Everybody in office has one desire, that's to get reelected, unless they're retiring, or they're termed out or whatever. in some cases they don't have a term limit in many cases, but in some cases there is. So
Right.
like with Trump, he don't have to worry about that. But obviously the Republicans want to get the next 4 years, but in their, back in their home state, they are definitely in danger of getting voted out in some cases. So, they're going to get a little, it just depends. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of things to consider when you're talking about this. And there's in a couple of cases that they may be able to bring some charges, but it's going to be a long drawn out fight. So that's all I'll say. You're going to have to go in. It's going to be a long drawn out fight.
Yes.
And it just, how far do they want to go with it? That's what I would say. Because this is not. It's not going to be a slam dunk. It's going to be drug out as long as they can, and with the hope that the next president would be a Democrat and would maybe pardon or whatever. I'm just saying, you got to consider all that stuff. Like let's face it right now. Let me put it this way: is Hunter Biden going to jail?
No.
No, not going to happen. Is Joe Biden going to jail?
No.
No, not going to happen.
No.
And in fact, one of the guys that already went to jail, he'll probably be pardoned before Biden leaves office.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's went to jail, but he was convicted. Democrat, yes. This is what happens. I mean, Trump at the end of his term will pardon people too, and some things are not pardonable. Some things are. Depends. State level charges, not. Federal cases, yes. And so, are you bringing the charges in state court or federal court? Again, there's a lot to consider here.
Right.
So I get it. It's just not as cut and dried in the discussion of saying, they're going to get this guy or that guy. There's a lot to consider here. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Hey, Lewis, he's back. I hope you had a good dinner.
But I'm saying going forward, we need to get something in there somehow to where if you lie to the country, you ought to be able to be, if you're out there on a news organization, you're supposed to be bringing facts and news, and you lie to the country, you ought to be held accountable.
Who are you saying going to be held accountable?
The people that's doing the lying on the networks.
Okay, that's dangerous. I get what you're saying to one point, but it's very dangerous ground. Very dangerous ground when you say that. Because
let me put it. Let me put it this way.
Okay, so make your point.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going on this because everybody has a freedom of speech. Okay.
No, that's not where I'm going.
There's a difference between going with news and going with opinion. If you're doing news, fact-based news, and you knowingly put out something, and then you come back later and it's wrong, and you come back later and do a little thing on the back page where you admit that you were wrong, nobody's going to see that. When you do a redaction, you need to do a redaction. You need to say, hey, it needs to be on the front page. It don't need to be buried in the back somewhere. We said this yesterday, it was wrong. Or we said this last night, it was wrong. They need to correct
it. You say it, but you can say that, but there's a difference in saying that and trying to make some kind of law where you have to do that, or as you said, be in trouble. And because in this program we've had right here, there are people that we probably, if we got fact checked, in this program right here just tonight, me and you, we have talked news. We've also had opinion.
Yeah.
And there may be something that we got wrong. It's possible. Because we said we don't have all the information. We could have got wrong. Well, somebody could take that and say, Rob lied. That wasn't true. Now he's putting out lies. And he should be in trouble for that. See what I mean? It's a dangerous double-edged sword. It really is. I believe the viewers, I mean, there's people watching them. The viewers have got to vet these people and decide who they believe's truthful and fact check them, and then call them up and let them know, hey, what you said was wrong, and just decide not to watch them anymore and hurt their viewership. Call their sponsors and say, why are you supporting this? Why are you advertising on their channel? There's things you can do that are legal. When you start making things into law, this is what the Democrats were trying to do to the internet. They wanted to cripple shows even like this. What they were trying to do is, let's say for all this discussion tonight that we had, and let's just use the monkey farm as an example. We've had opinion tonight and news. We read news where a news organization has said this person's going to take it to state Supreme Court. We've also had opinion. Now, we don't have anything based on facts. It's our opinion about the waste and all that other stuff. What they were trying to get done was, if we had that kind of program about whatever we said about the monkey farm, that we would be required by law to then bring in somebody to counter the other side. We would have to, not just invite, but that we had to. If you had that, you would cripple the news. It got voted down, but that's what they wanted to do. So we got to be careful of that pendulum as it swings. You got to be really careful with that. I get what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you on the point. I'm just saying, and how that's applied, you got to be dang careful.
Disagree on this one. I think the way it needs to be applied is across the board. You know, if they knowingly put out something wrong intentionally.
How do you prove knowingly?
Huh?
How do you prove knowingly? How do you prove that?
Okay. Take the 60 Minutes thing on CBS, where she gave one answer, but they aired another answer. That was deception.
Okay, I'll ride with you on that.
Okay.
But when you say knowingly, that's
well,
hard.
They knowingly did that.
That's one example. But
Okay.
if you make a ruling on that, based on that, there's a whole lot of other places that law could apply.
Absolutely.
And it could apply to me and you as well. But if they prove knowingly, how would they prove that me and you knowingly, not saying we did, but if they said we knowingly misrepresented the facts on the Southern Fried podcast?
Yeah.
How would they prove that?
I don't know.
So that's the
60 Minutes. You know, you've got a prime example. They knowingly did that.
That's one example. I get
the only time that's happened. I think if they change the answers on an interview intentionally, if they can go back and they can misrepresent what someone said, then you can't have any faith.
There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways you can misrepresent without it being
the truth.
There's a lot of ways you can do that without it being illegal.
And truth. So that's wrong. That's not ethical. That is not okay. Now, I do believe in free speech. You should be able to say what you think. And I agree with that. I do. But when you knowingly twist stuff and you knowingly redo it just to make yourself or your party look better or whatever, or to walk in lockstep to be state news, there's something wrong there.
I get it. I agree with you. It's wrong. But two words you use, knowingly. Again, how do you prove knowingly? And in the beginning of this, you said go to jail. So again, that's dangerous, man. Freedom of speech gets trampled if we put things in place like that.
So you're a proponent of letting people go out and spread falsehoods and twist the facts, and let's not do anything about it.
Every news organization on the planet has done that at times.
Okay. All right. But when they do it consistently and all the time, you think it's a good thing that they went back and they changed the interview on 60 Minutes. You're a proponent of that. Do you agree with that?
No, I didn't say I was a proponent of that. That you're using one example to try to blanket that or paint that across everything that news does. That is one example out of thousands upon thousands of news hours where they just didn't report it exactly right, but they didn't manipulate and change and put other words in and re-record. That is a whole different example. You're trying to apply that across the board in ways it doesn't apply.
Okay, let's look at it this way. Should the people, like say on The View, should they be held liable for slander?
How do you know that they've not been sued for slander and settled it out of court?
I don't know.
Nobody hears about it.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure if they got hit with slander, we would hear about it.
A lot of cases are just handled out of court. Nobody hears about them because they put disclaimers in there. When you get this money, you can't talk about it. Okay. But again, it's hard to prove that stuff anyway. It's really hard to prove that. It's like the word knowingly that you said.
You know, when they say, well, Trump is going to do this, you know he's going to do it. And he's already said he was going to do it, and he hadn't said, like, say, he's going to put a national ban on abortion. And Trump has never said that. But
That's
you
their
know he's
opinion,
going.
though. That's their
Huh?
opinion. That's their
Yeah.
opinion.
Well,
That's nothing. What we're doing the same thing here. We're giving our opinion.
okay. I think they ought to be held accountable. I really do. If they're going to put out stuff, and we try to be honest, we try to be straightforward. Uh,
Another key word there: try.
yeah,
We
we do
make
our best.
mistakes.
We actually
So
make efforts.
so when somebody say Rob and Dave have knowingly misrepresented the facts, they can say that. Could they prove that? Because we wouldn't knowingly do it. But when you're talking about going in a courtroom and being drug in, and who proves knowingly? How do they prove that? And if they
Okay.
do, and what if we're convicted wrongly? You see what I mean? The law is it runs both ways, man. You got to be really careful.
Okay.
That's why
Well,
I'm
let me
not for
put
a
it
lot
this
of
way.
new laws, man.
Let me put it
Every
this way.
senator wants to make a new law. I don't like new laws being made all the time because it just makes what happens with new laws? It makes it easier to break the law because the more laws you have, the more things you're going to run afoul of.
Okay. Well, let's not make a new law, but let's find some way to fix this crap. There has
I'm
to be some way to
I'm
fix it.
I'm with you.
Okay. Hey, there's Celtic Blacksmith.
Hey, good to see you, man. They do love to be afraid of that. We look forward to you coming and being with us. Absolutely.
Yeah,
But good discussion tonight. Good discussion. Good
yeah, we're
discussion.
getting into this thing.
Me, me and
It
Rob, me
needs to
and
be
Rob like to
fixed
be on
somehow.
both sides of an issue.
Well,
It makes for
me
the
and
best
Dave have
program.
always, well, if one of us takes one side of an issue, 9 out of 10 times the other one's going to take the other side just because.
Well, two people that agree with each other all the time is a boring show. I'll say that.
That's right. And so it needs to be fixed, though. That does. So we'll just let it go at that. We can't. We're not going to fix it here tonight. That's for sure. Uh, Celtic Blacksmith. Dave's been telling me a lot about you, and I've seen some of your podcasts. I'm looking for. I went over. I didn't. I clicked you on Yahoo today on the mail. I don't remember if I had a chance to go on there and look on, but I'm really excited about seeing some of the work that you've done. Um, and so, yes. So if y'all get a
Absolutely.
chance, go check him out and follow him.
Yeah.
And
We hope to have him Friday night. He may have already responded to the email, but we hope to have him Friday night on Front Porch. And we're going to talk. Man, we got a lot of interest in this. Me and Rob, we talked about it today. We have a lot of different ways we come at that.
yeah.
And we got somebody on that's doing it, and I think it's great.
Well, Dave, it's 9:15. We about 15 minutes over. Get us going.
That means it was a dang good show.
That's right. So, and it's time for me to step away for just a second here. And I'm going to have to go for just a minute. I'll be right back.
Rob's got to step away. We've run him beyond. Yeah, no problem, man. Absolutely. Oops, sorry, Jim. Sorry, Mod. Put that back up. We look forward to having you, and we'll send you a link about 20-30 minutes before the show. Come on in whenever you're ready, and we'll make sure everything's cool. And you can definitely stay as short or as long as you like. You can definitely be there for the whole show. See you, Mike. Love you, man. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. We were talking today about, we got into a deep discussion about the history of this and going all the way back and how the weapons of war changed, and even in the modern day, really, it all started with that. And it's cool. That's cool stuff. And I was reading your little thing about you and how you got into it. One of the things we love to do is tell people, and let them tell their story, not us. We love to let people tell their story. And this is your story, and we're just going to ride with it and have fun and ask questions and tell our experiences, which are most of it's probably in our head, but we do have a little bit. But man, that's a respected thing that you're doing, and it has a lot of history to it. I can't wait. I can't wait to be a part of it.
Forward to it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that question, that discussion was offline. We didn't have it in the program, but after I had talked to you, I called him just to see where we're at with our other guests, and me and him we got into a long discussion about the history of smithing and going all the way back and talking about
yeah,
different weapons that were made and the history of that, and just had a good time. We're like, man, we're having a show right now. It just wasn't recorded.
yeah. We were
But we,
talking about how important stirrups were when they made stirrups, so you could actually stand up in the saddle and swing like a flail or a long horseman's sword or something like that, and you could stand up and get that torque on it and really just I mean, yeah, there's a lot of historical stuff that goes in with that. Uh, yeah,
are you
so
are, are you are you trying to give a description of Matt Getz in 2025? Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
oh,
I had to go there, man. Come on. That was
I'm trying
game.
to give a description. I'm trying to give a description of uh, what Trump looked like winning this election.
Oh, okay, I got you. I'm, I'm good.
Oh, dude, we're over a week out and we still haven't got the house sorted out yet. What the heck?
I know, I know. I used to at Blacksmith. What area of the country are you from? I didn't ask that today. I'm just curious. What state are you from? We're not asking you to give your street address or nothing. We're just asking what area you're from.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
love the name, and we're definitely gonna try to steer people your way to your shows and stuff. We do that, and we'll we'll do that for you. So,
He's from
but glad
L,
from L, the man from L.
the man from L. Or is that an I? It might be an I. I
Could be
don't
an
know.
I, the man
Yeah,
from I.
capital I, little L.
Ohio,
Ohio.
you're the mistake on the lake. Well, we got some listeners that come in from Ohio.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. I love it. Ohio, that's a great state. Great state.
It's, it's
The
easy to
people in it.
spell.
I don't know about there's
Easy
some
to spell.
every
Ohio.
state has. Well, it is easy to spell. Yeah.
You just pronounce it
Well,
Ohio.
didn't they make a little song about that when we were in school? Well, you did your hands right. Oh, I don't know.
I don't.
I think it was a
That was
school thing.
before my time, sir.
Oh, come on, come on.
Way before my time. Hey, how many people out there remember Romper Room?
Cool beans, man.
That's all right. We
I,
celebrate the
I,
stuff
I watched
around.
Romper Room. It come on right after Crumple Your Biscuit Morning Show. Crumple Your Biscuit Morning Show. At least I remember that. Yeah, Bob
Yes,
Brandy, Crumple Your Biscuit Morning
YMCA.
Show, and Romper Room. Yeah, YMCA is another one. But I think it's cool they taught us this little thing about Ohio. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing it. I don't know.
I think you lost it.
Maybe.
You
But
can't remember that far back. Come on, man. Ain't
and
no way in the world you
you
can
got the chicken
remember that
dance.
far back.
You got the chicken dance.
Wait a minute. That's going to get stuck in my head. And then I'll be going to bed tonight singing that song and I'll get hurt.
We should do the chicken dance at Watts Bridge.
We should. We're going. We'll try to get Jenny and Madison to come with us.
I thought you said Jen was a definite no.
She is.
Okay.
But I'm still going to try.
Well, I ain't holding out high hopes for that then. If she's put the official no on it, you dang right it beats Baby Shark. Oh my gosh, my granddaughter about drove me nuts with that. I can remember I'd look at Lynn, I'd have this glazed over look for the when Kaylee played for the 100th time in a row. And I just looked at her and I thought, man, I am trying so hard to be a good paw. But this song is about I'm about to just snap. It's like torture treatment or something. I didn't snap. I let it go. But I was like, oh, I was like, it's about time to go to sleep. She goes, one more time, Papa. One
One
more.
more time.
Oh, okay.
Papa, one more time. Oh, yes, dear. Go ahead. One more time. We'll enjoy it.
No, I am absolutely stoked, man. We got some cool interviews coming up, and we appreciate you so much being willing to come on. We just, again, we like telling a story. We like hitting a lot of different kinds of things. By the way, do you believe in the Bigfoot? Because we talk a lot about that now too. I just want to see where you rest on that at. You believe in Bigfoot, chupacabras, cryptids?
Well,
I'm going to be at a thing Friday afternoon before I come in Friday night. I'm going to be listening to a state park ranger talk about that. So
yeah, well, you do always have to remember the Chupacabra Day. Don't
yeah,
forget the Chupacabra.
oh yeah,
Well, now,
chupacabra.
yeah, that was Bigfoot. They're not that big. I don't know. That's pretty big. They might think you a baby Bigfoot out there walking around barefooted. Um,
This guy's going to fit right in here, man.
yes, he is. Yes, he is. This is
We
gonna
like
be
if
fun.
you ain't get, we like to laugh and have a good time too. So
Absolutely. Uh, so Lewis, how big is your foot?
I work with a guy, or I used to work with him. He was 14, and one guy
I
I knew was a 15. I had a hard time getting
think
him
we know a guy that
safety
had
shoes.
18s.
Huh?
I think we know a guy that had 18s.
Good grief!
How big is Cook's feet? I guarantee you they ain't 18.
They said I don't know. He's never told me. That's a big foot though. That's a dang big foot.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Hmm. All right. Lewis, you're gonna have to hurry up and tell us because I gotta go to bed. It's my bedtime.
Yeah,
Me and Dave,
he changes into something after 10 o'clock. I don't know what. He's not the clickbait anymore. He changes into something else. Maybe he changes into chupacabra.
well, my arm here is about to. What is going on here?
Are you
My,
breaking stuff?
I'm trying to. Maybe.
By the
Uh,
way, if you're still in here, Celtic Blacksmith, I want to say great respect for your pricing on the things you do have posted. Great respect. I'm gonna order a couple hooks, man. I've been looking for some, and those are absolutely the,
no, I'm not a gremlin. If I was, splashing water on me would definitely be a bad idea. Now, I'm sure there's some people out there that probably think that I'm a gremlin, but I'm not. I'm a little too tall for that. Not much, just a little bit.
well,
Um,
we know you're not a troll. You don't have the hair for it, so.
got the warts.
Oh
So I
man,
pushed myself out a little bit. But let me
we
tell
know
you,
we know what Cook is. I mean, he's easy. I mean,
he's a shaved Sasquatch. With a girlfriend, you know. Oh my goodness. There might be a baby squatch running around here before long. Oh, and then Gray's gonna be up there taking pictures. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be bad.
did
It's
you
gonna be
say
bad.
there may be a baby running around your house before long? Did I hear that
No,
right?
Cook and his girlfriend.
Oh, I thought you meant there at the Blevins residence. I'm like, what the heck did you just say?
I ain't taking in no more cats, dude. That was the last baby we had. And, let's see. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, man. That's you no problem, man. Like I said, there's a couple of them I've been looking at their stuff, and it's great stuff, but it's a little bit out of my price point at this time, and I really want to get some in, and we definitely do that. I promise you. So appreciate that. No problem, man. We like to support guests, man, and
yeah,
we'll help you. We love to do that. Uh, Boost you a little bit if we can. Some people may not like our boost, but we try.
all right, guys. Well, it's time for me to go through my nightly change. And what I do is, when I get to a certain point in the night, my voice deepens up, and it kind of gets that sexy bedtime stuff going on. I start reading bedtime stories for people.
Good night, Lewis. We're fixing to go to.
Kind of
Yes,
like what's his name? Does the all right, all right, all right. You know, I get that bedtime voice going on. It's, yeah, I don't want to get that going on here on the show. They might try to get me to talk like that all the time. You're welcome.
I have no comment. I'm just gonna let you wallow in that. I don't know where you were going at. Look, he's laying down. Look,
Huh?
it's like he was fixing to lay down there, man. Look, he was just falling over, like going to sleep or something.
My arm here is messed up, and I'm trying to fix it. It's not
You look
cooperating.
like you're having issues, man.
I'm having issues, but I'm fixing to fix them. Okay. Okay, Jenny. I'm going to get this thing fixed. That's the only thing I don't like about this thing. Only the crickets had something to say about that one. That's not very nice. Oh, you're going to fit in just fine around here.
Silence is golden sometimes, man. Silence is golden. Just let them go with it. That's what Jesus did. If you'll notice, most of the time, Jesus, he didn't respond to things that people said. He just looked at them. And when he did speak, he said things that they didn't want to hear.
Yeah.
Like you fool. Or
something. Like chupacabra.
Well, I'll say this: if there is a chupacabra, he made it.
Okay.
Because he
That's
made
true.
it.
So I'll go along with that.
If there is one, then okay, because God said it. So spoke it in existence.
That's right. All right. Well, everybody, y'all have a great night. Hey, like, follow, subscribe. Slide on over there to Celtic Blacksmiths. Give him a follow and subscribe. Yes. Don't forget about Chick Bait out there and her true crime.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're not a member of Cornbread Nation, look it up on Facebook. We got a Facebook set up just for our breadheads.
Yes.
Get over and get on there. And y'all have a great night. Hey, you've made it halfway through the week. We will be back to keep y'all going on for the rest of the week. So y'all have a good night. We'll give you a great big salute. Dave, you got anything else?
No, well, I'll just say tomorrow there'll probably be some shows on the evening that I'll probably come on live for a couple of things. We'll see. Hopefully, that's the plan. So look for me a little bit tomorrow, and then for me and Rob to be back. We'll see you Friday morning for the morning show, Friday edition.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good night. Like, follow, subscribe. We love you. God bless, and we'll see you then.
All right. See y'all.
Good night, guys.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.